all know, my name is Sri Pratyusha. I hail from Andhra Pradesh, currently residing in Bangalore. Yeah, you know all my qualifications now. So I'm blessed with two beautiful boys, Soham and Sohit, whom I love the most. And other than what Pratinder have said, uh, I'm also my love towards the art forms inclined me towards a dance form called Kuchipudi. I'm a Kuchipudi dancer too. So, but my path, I believe, is glued towards child psychology with my first son born being on autism spectrum. So, in this quest to help as many special children as possible, I have started the Nurturing Nook with an idea of providing home based intervention programs for special need children caregivers where they can understand their children and work with them at home. Most of the parents just think 1 hour or 45 minutes of therapy a day uh, bring them the miracles, but that's not what the fact is. So the rest 23 hours you work with the child at home definitely gives you the result. So for that support, I thought there is a gap between the parents and the technical team. Uh, I my aim to start this nurturing is to bridge that gap where I educate the parents or the caregivers. So I train the teachers so that they be empathetic towards the classroom where a special need child is also present along with the other 20 or 30 children in the room. So yeah, with the inclusive learning environment helps children with special needs uh, to evolve over time. It is very important for teachers and parents to be trained to support them in the classroom and even at home. So my main aim is to train, handhold, and educate all such stakeholders in nurturing the special need kids to enjoy their growth and one day choose the path they love. So here I am today sitting in front of you talking about inclusivity. As I strongly believe, inclusion is a mindset. It's a way of thinking. It is not just a program or what do you say, a course that we do and we do a favor to the society or someone. So it has to come from within, and we need to work a lot. Is strongly what I believe.
So, Shri, tell us about a routine day at your center.
So we do I'm for the credibilities that you have added. I just need to add. I'm a recently licensed brain gym movement facilitator too. So I start uh, the day with pace. Yeah, before pace, definitely a few minutes of meditation with the staff, and then I go with the pace as and when the children come, like for 4 to 5 minutes of pace with their uh, level, the pace with their pace. So yeah, with that we begin with the sessions. Like we have one-on-one sessions, we have group sessions, and I'm an integrated listening system practitioner, which is called auditory therapy. That is my main niche, what I do apart from other centers. So it's a pre-treated music that which comes with a headphone with bone conduction and air conduction. So we give that for around 1 hour as per the child's need. The program is custom made. So with that, along with that, we do therapies too. So I have a team of OTs, special educators, speech therapists, ABAs, and all. So as per the child's requirement and the parents' uh, inquiry, we tailor make the process and give them a plan, and we work along. And I personally monitor each and every child personally. And we have field reps. I have a very good associate of mine, my friend Subhadra. She's a equine therapist. So we are now in collaboration with that. So my elder one goes regularly to the equine therapy. It's a horse therapy. As you know, the horses and dogs are also trained specifically for therapies where they understand the child's emotional level so that they are very well connected with the child than humans. So, from almost 1.5 years, he's going for horse therapy. It's a vestibular focused therapy where the child first connects with the horse. He'll feed the horse, then he'll walk with the horse, then he'll ride the horse, so that overall sensory integration is happening. And I personally strongly believe in sensory integration. When all the 8 sensory systems falls in place, things happen
So
naturally.
when we speak of pet therapy, it somehow
Sorry.
encompasses this too. Pet
Sorry?
therapy. Pet therapy.
Pet therapy, correct.
Fine.
So what's the
Interesting.
question?
No, I said pet therapy. This would come under pet therapy also.
Yes, it comes under pet therapy. They have dog therapy also. I'm getting trained by for myself to get dog therapy incorporated in my center too.
So
So
that
it
means
may
next time
be,
we introduce you, we'll have to
yeah,
add pet therapy to it.
you can,
Wonderful.
you can add that.
Participants, if you have any questions to ask, please type them in the chat box. And we'll pick
All
them
right,
up.
Shri, I have a question. This is Swati. As parents or as caregivers, we always always because there is no special system which is like a tick box by an authority, and lot of us learn, lot of us read, lot of us maybe do some things by trial and error. So my question to you is that what are the first 5 things that any parent or caregiver should do before they get into that mode of trial and error? Maybe you could take examples from your life, or you could tell us that we actually take our child who's in the spectrum uh, to to a state where more intervention can be planned.
That's a wonderful question. I'll surely answer. So first and foremost, as we all know, is acceptance. Accepting yourself as a mother or a parent to the child, accepting the child in every form, and then acceptance around you, accepting that people around you are not accepting. That is very, very important. The second important thing is prioritize your. Uh, I shall share my experiences once I tell all the 5 points what I believe in. The second is prioritizing the child's need over anything else. If the child is screaming, banging his head, uh, like unbearable or uncontrollable tantrum, your priority of thought has to be on addressing the child's need rather than controlling him to ensure that you are in a good books of others' opinions. So that's what I strongly believe. It took a little time for me to come out of my comfort zone and address my child. Even though I'm not, I don't say like I come from Buddha's family. I'm straight away. I do everything for my child. No, I also had a very tough time initially, where I went into depression. I was on antidepressants for a few weeks, and I don't know. I felt when I was feeling helpless for myself. And when I saw Soham at one day, I felt when he was 2.5, I realized, is it me who should feel helpless, or is it he actually is helpless? So I am the one responsible for him be on this earth. So I am the one who has to address him. So that's when I realized, and I kept everything of my, what do you say, why me part aside and started addressing him. And I never look back from that time. Yeah. The third one is self care. Self care is what I'm not saying like you have to take your me time and do whatever you want. No, you can enjoy what you're doing. If you enjoy, if you spread that positivity around you, things happen very smoothly. Where first point, you don't carry stress, you don't build up the stress. Second, when you are doing it, when you are enjoying things, things fall in place naturally, and you have your own time. You don't think, my life is dedicated to this. Why am I doing this? So the kind of negative energy or the procrastination don't happen generally. So, and the fourth thing, proper sleep, healthy food, your health is very important, because there is this very important person or people who's dependent on you and your health. You can't neglect, you just can't skip the meal because you don't feel like. You have to be energetic mentally, physically. So, yeah, these are the main things what I believe in. So, coming back to the first point, to want to share about my experiences, acceptance for me was never an issue as such. But yes, when it came to practicality, when I hit the practical scenario, for instance, when I used to take him to the park, Soham used to sit on the slide, and I used to keep screaming, Soham, slide down, Soham, slide down. For Soham, it doesn't bother. He's into his own world. This is when he was 2.5. For me, all the other like 50 to 60 people in the park and the society, eyes are on me. Which before this, I wanted to say, like any other girl, I never dreamt of this situation in my life at that point of time. I felt like I want 5 or 6 kids of mine. Like I imagined my life going to treks with them, having fun. I love children from beginning. So even in my MBA, my teacher used to ask me, "What do you want to become after MBA?" I said, "I'll become a mother." So everyone used to make fun of me, but yeah, that's who I am. So with a very what do you say, tough and abusive childhood I had, I always wanted to become a uh, very good, if I can say, a mother, so that I'll have children around me and I dedicate my life to them. But everything has gone upside down when I'm prepared. I know, I myself identified Soham. Uh, there's something different with Soham. I don't say wrong with Soham. It's different with Soham. When he was 1.5, I went to pediatrician and said like he's walking on toes. He's not responding to his name. Uh, he's only playing objects in circular motion, and he's continuously uh, been going round and round. So he said it's too early to identify, but yeah, keep an eye on him. We'll have an evaluation later. Yeah, but we were in Saudi when he was 2. We put him in a British school, British curriculum school. There, the teacher or the counselor called us one day and said like he's not following instructions. He's just playing, pretending Five Little Monkey game and throwing everything. He doesn't know that he's throwing wooden block and that is hurting other children. I know somewhere, I'm sensing as a mother, my gut feeling is saying there is something different with him. But that encounter with the teacher as a mother was not easy. So I went back to dark again. I was there for 10-15 days. But then again, I came back. Now I have to do before time uh, goes out of my hand. That's when I shifted with him to India. My husband was there in Saudi. It was not an easy thing for me to do, because post I have a skin condition called hidradenitis suppurativa, where I get boils all over my body. I can't even handle a single thin cotton cloth on myself. It's like oozing blood and pus through all over my body. Post delivery, it has worsened like anything, like 1.5. But with the love towards children, I personally I wanted to do everything to my child. So every 4 hours or 5 hours, the paracetamol was the only thing that was Aya and Amma to me. So every 4 hours I was on a paracetamol to do everything that I had to do as a mother to Soham. So that condition also took me to depression because I was not able to hold him properly because I had boils everywhere and the blood and pus was oozing. So I can't take the child because he might catch infection. I always extracted and gave him milk. But yeah, that missing and that depression, it took time, postpartum depression. It took time for me to come, but Soham's smile was always something gave hope to me to start my day fresh. So without Sharat, my husband, handling this alone in India, going through all this alone was not really not a easy thing. I also had meltdowns and best mainly during PMS time. But I take time. I don't hold my what do you say tears. I cry loud. I finish it off. I don't carry it. I can't be sad for longer time. So I close it. Then I handle because I have Soham to take care. And even when he was non-verbal, he used to have uh, communication. He used to read books. He used to read Hindu newspaper when he was 2 years old, but he never had spoken language communication with me. So, so when I was in deep sleep, he'll get up, he'll hit me on my face and sleep. And I suddenly wake up. That means he's hungry. I have to give him milk. So I used to give him milk bottle and then go cry loud. I end that and come and sleep. So that's how it used to. I know him expressing his hunger is that way. So yeah, it if I start talking from there, there are so many topics. Yeah, acceptance. Yeah, when I come back to the spark thing, uh, I it took a lot of time for me to uh, break that people looking at me. I locked myself with Soham for months inside. I don't even open. I want to open the door for the milk guy or the maid. I just don't want to see anybody. So that's when my husband said like you need help. So that's when I took uh, doctor's help. I was on antidepressants. I came out of that. But yeah, medication really helped me to break that cocoon and then for me to make him socialize and understand whatever I'm teaching through visual cards, he should have the practical experience of it. So for grocery stores, I lost Soham twice and I found him. So I know how important it is to have a hold on him. So if I take him to a grocery store, I used to tie my him with one on my hand and he has an elastic to one to his hand. I don't want him to restrict but I ensure his safety. The 1.5 meter, he's tied to me. People used to comment in elevators and all, why are you taking him like a dog or a puppy? I used to just smile and close. I can't explain or make them understand what I've gone through. I know it's almost 2 times by then I lost him and found him. It's not an easy thing, but I can't hold him and just keep him in home so that he'll be safe. So yeah, so acceptance is very, very important. Once you accept yourself, for me, I right now, if you ask me, there are so many parents or my family members or my extended family members say like Soham is such a lucky child that he got you as a mother. No, I strongly deny that. I feel I'm very blessed uh, because Soham has chose me to spread his wisdom through me. If Soham is not there in my life, I'm not there today to sit in front of you and talk and share all these experiences. So 1% of my experiences, if it helps any of the special parents around my life, like it's it's done. Like the purpose of my life is achieved, is what I feel. Every stage is very challenging. It's not like, yeah, I'm enjoying the fruits right now, but yeah, there are the challenges. I waited.
No doubt there are challenges.
Oh yeah.
And the participants also like that you said that he is different. So acceptance is so important. Yes, so true. And when you said now, it fills your heart with joy also. So let's move on
Yes.
from what you said just now and think of one incident that that had your heart bursting in joy. That's it.
Correct.
That's it moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could you tell us
Yeah.
one
I
of those?
acceptance within and acceptance that people are not accepting around. There's, what made me to come from my comfort zone. I believe universe keeps giving you clues and uh, pointers like where you need to hold and come out of it. I had a maid. She used to take care of Soham, like she used to take Soham out for a walk. When she came back one day, because I stopped myself going out. I was a very social person initially, but after Soham, I stopped myself being social. And I didn't like that I'm becoming like this. That is what again made me to come out of it. That made one day she came back home and I asked, how was it? Like, he said, ma'am, everybody is asking, we speak Telugu in our hometown. She said, everybody is asking, why don't he respond? We are calling him. Why is he not playing with us and all? Then I said, I shrinked. Like I said, what did you say? That he came from Saudi. He knows only English. If you can speak in English, he'll speak in English. That's what I said. So I love the way she handled the situation. You don't need to actually get affected by that. It's how you perceive it. I love the way she handled it. And I said, yeah, there is another way also to perceive this and get out of it. I can give answers to why do I. And then one day my father-in-law have come and said like, why is he still on diaper? Why is he not calling you, Amma? Yes, I am also waiting for that day for him to call me mom. But I can't explain him why, what is happening and all. I said, yeah, I just gave a smile. Yeah, it comes. It comes. Everyone is different. He's also, he'll get. And now I'm so happy that he calls me mommy.
True, true. And her response to your neighbor, I think, arose from empathy also, which is very, very important. Empathy plays a big role. Participants, if you have any questions, you could raise your hand or type your question in the chat box. Swati, I see you want to say something?
Yeah. So I just wanted to ask you, in terms of how did you come to a space where you had to sit your family down and say, okay, this is where I need your help. And because so many times what happens is that immediate family is very difficult for them to understand or tell them. So some of us are very lucky that we find support in the family. Some are we've heard some very horrible stories of not finding acceptance in the family. So, how, for everybody who's here, be it a teacher, caretaker, or a parent, how do you draft a communication to your family, telling them that this is how it is and I need your help, rather than having a combustive situation at home all the time? So what was your experience there, and how did you ensure that this communication is not just always on the fire, but supportive towards you, and so on?
For me, again, I'm the one among the few people who have very good support from my family. Support in the sense they don't question me. I'm not telling they accepted him and they are with me, they are traveling with me, they do everything that I want. No, but they believe in what I do. They don't bother me at all. This very, very, for 100%, 200%, they believe whatever Sri does is right. That uh, that's like the backbone support for me. So rest all, I'm not accountable to anybody. The only objective in my mind, even today, is to address Soham's need, nothing else. So I don't, and for the personality I have, the person I am, I never go for help. I'll do whatever it has to be done from my side. If it is, if I have to take a help, it'll be my husband. Otherwise, it's me. It might sound stubborn or arrogant, but I am like that. I don't want anybody to take the credit of doing Soham because I want to do everything for Soham and so it. Even the children in my intervention center, I want to do it. Just I only want to do. I don't know why I have that kind of mindset. So yeah, but definitely the support is not interfering in my decisions is a very big support.
Okay, one of the fathers said, please say something for the fathers. So,
Fathers, yes. Without him, like he is my husband. He if he has not given me because I have left my career. I used to work as a HR before Soham. I left my career because I have to be there with him to support the family financially, to keep a maid for 24 hours, to handle a house. He is living in a house in Saudi. He has to maintain two houses and he has to afford for the therapies. That's not simple because the fine and staying away from us, handling all this, and I used to cry at times calling him. He used to be helpless, and I used to scream at him, "Why is it happening? Why are you not there with us?" So all these things, he handles everything very, very peacefully with a smile on his face always. I never saw him getting anger even till date. I don't know how it is possible. I don't know. He's from some other planet. But yes, that person is a form of God for me. Yeah. Because of him, I'm like this today. I have my friends and parents, partners. They're when they share their stories with me, I really feel and thank God and feel very blessed and grateful of giving me such family and husband like that. Instead of creeping for why this child to me, why am I like this? All my friends are going nicely with the other friends and families and children with trucks and all. Why am I going to therapies with my child? I should also enjoy. I am enjoying this journey, which they don't know how it actually tastes. I don't know if Soham also knows it, but yeah.
So true. I think a number of us, some others here, and you rightly said, this journey is so uplifting, so endearing, and it's us. It's made us what we are.
Yes.
So when
okay,
you're setting goals for Soham, so how do you go about setting goals for him? Like now he's achieved this much, so what next? Because you've got to look at the goal being meaningful and achievable, um, and at the same time you've got to look at his abilities, his challenges.
Correct. So the only fundamental thing I always keep assessing him and observing him is sensory integration. With all the therapies, I suddenly take him off of therapies and I see how well he's able to manage his own sensory systems. When I find some other imbalance, because luckily technically into this, it is not, I'm technically from before I'm into this. For Soham, with Soham, I'm into psychology now. Before that, I'm an HR and a fashion designer. For Soham, I did everything and I'm into this. So now, only to understand Soham, I have done all this. But now Soham, now that Soham has become independent, in this journey, I felt there are so many caregivers and parents who are helpless and they don't understand what is happening with their children. They're just waiting for the time so that in 3 months he'll be fine. In 1 year he'll be fine. So that's where I thought, okay, there is some part of me I have to give back to the society or this area. So when I set goals, it is always the fundamental point is sensory integration. Are the senses integrated? If there's any challenge or imbalance, for example, I stopped all the therapies for 15 days, he might start putting all the clothes or anything in the mouth. So some oral motor sensory seeking is happening, or he might be moving here and there. He's fine. He's not restless in head, but the body is restless. He keeps. If I ask him to do something, first he go to a corner and run back and then do. That means his vestibulars are seeking something. So whenever the sensory system seeks, so I intervene and I set goals as per his need. Now at this point of time, that's how I decide on his goals and the challenges we face. Recently, the challenge that I faced was bullying. So yeah, I have set all the goals to keep him ready to address that part. So all me, my team, his therapist, everybody were behind him for a month, and now like he's all set on his own.
Good. That's a good point you brought up, making him independent and addressing these issues. So could you share with us how you did that for bullying and
Yes. So he's 8.5 now. Last August, this happened. We used to live in a apartment in a society. I after a lot of mm, um, therapies or the time that I've spent with him, slowly, I used to leave him independent. At one point of time in his life, he has to be independent. So Soham with autism, he has Savant syndrome also. He numbers and alphabets are his strength, weakness, obsession, whatever you say. So I use that to teach him all the concepts that are possible. So I taught
interesting?
him how to watch time, how to read, how to write. So because he's so obsessed with numbers and alphabets. So clock ticks in his head. That is his gift. I don't take any credit for anything what Soham has achieved even today. It is everything, the efforts that he has put in. So Soham clock ticks in his head. Even he does at the time he don't know how to watch. So observe his watch on the wrist. When I say Soham, it is 5 o'clock. You have to play, do the cycling, and come back at 6. 6 sharp. He used to ring the bell. So, but as a mother, uh, for him, I'm not there around him. But as a mother, I have my insecurities or protection, whatever issues. Look, I took an apartment where all the garden area is visible from all the balconies that I have. So when he's going around at the cycle around the garden, I also have to run in all the rooms on the balconies to see him whether he's safe. So on in this part, one day Soham went to a corner, but he didn't come out. So I went down, but there were two children who stopped him and were speaking to him. When I started accepting Soham, I used to tell everybody, each and everybody, whenever we encounter or face anything, I frankly tell that Soham is a special child. He has a condition called autism. He like this. So if you have any issues with him, I used to give them the address and phone number. You can come and talk to him. He'll respond to my instructions or my explanation. So you please come to me. I'll talk to him if he bothers you because he has a self talk and he keeps talking and his the volume he speaks or the impulse he has sometimes bother the people around him. So I was always the voice for him. So I told this guy, and later, after 2 days, one among these two boys came to me and said, Auntie, someone locked Soham in the passage area. Then this child who came to me was actually the one who did the bullying to Soham. I'll tell you what happened. So he wanted to be in the good books of mine. So he came and told me. So I went and I unlocked the door and I asked because Soham can't tell who locked him. So I was asking him different questions. I was working on WH questions during the time. He was not so fluent in talking to me, but I understand what he's trying to say. Before this episode happened, when I asked Soham to go to park and do cycling, um, he used to say, "Nobody will hit me, nobody will lock me." He used to say that to him while wearing chapel, but somehow I didn't give attention to what he's saying. I thought it's talking something to himself. But later, when this episode happened, that's when I realized Soham is talking, like ensuring him, he's calming himself down so that he'll go and do the cycling properly. So when I come back to this scene, I unlocked the door and he came out and I was Soham who? The red shirt or the green shirt? So who? So Soham was not able to tell, and the children are running and blaming each other. Then I called everybody. I called 15 children together and I said, Soham is a special child. He has autism. So he might not he might be like normal for you, but he can't process what you're trying to talk to him. If it bothers you, please come to G502. I'm there. I'll talk to you. I'll try to explain. So he said, okay, okay, then done. One day, my children, the first main thing I follow in my life is discipline. I wake up at 4, 4:30. My kids wake up at 5. Our day starts and they sleep by 7. So 7 o'clock, they both slept, and that day Kurt was not there. Generally, I don't go down. My husband goes, but I said, "You make them sleep. I'll go down." I don't know. You know, things happen when it has to happen. So I went down, and when I was coming, no, before this, what happened? There were three, four girl children who called me and said, "Auntie, we wanted to tell you something. Two boys stopped Soham and they were hitting him badly." So I said, "Is it this child?" I named the child some X. "Is it this child who was hurting?" They were little hesitant to say, but I understood that that is the child. Okay, I said, "Thank you so much for telling me." Then I said, when Sharath came back, I said, "Someone is troubling Soham. It is just hitting." It's like, okay, this is children thing. We can address this. I'll talk to the child. But when I went to Kurd and I was coming back, this child was playing in the park. Then I called this child and said, "Why did you hit Soham?" This is my straight question. He said, "No, not me, auntie. There is this child who did." Then he started telling me what actually happened. He thought I knew everything, which like broke my heart into pieces. We were expecting this to happen maybe when he turns 10 or 12, but it happened. We are preparing ourselves for this kind of bullying, but this happened very early to us. We are not prepared for that seat that day. And this child started telling us the story. He said, "Andy, not me, that child. There are cameras everywhere. They know where the cameras are not there. They took the Soham there and they undressed him and they started hitting him on his private parts with Cheppal." So this happened to Soham. And this child was narrating all this. And uh, if I am not Soham's mother, I would have reacted in a different way. Now that I traveled with Soham all these years, the the level of empathy, I don't know what it is. I didn't react towards the child. It is like my heart shattered into pieces. And Soham was telling this to me. He's trying to tell this to me from 2 days. Nobody will hit me. Nobody will scold me. Nobody will lock me. This is what he's telling to Trem. When I press the elevator and ask him, "Push Soham, go. Nothing happens. Go, go." This is what my pushing was. Then I could able to connect the dots, what he was trying to talk to me. Then I said, "How do you do this?" "Okay, I'm coming to your home around 9 o'clock. When will your parents be?" He said 9 o'clock. "Okay, I'm going to come and talk to your parents." This is what only I said, and I came back and I shared this with my husband. My kids already slept, and we had that was a nightmare thing. Like I cried, cried, cried. I don't know what to do. We tried checking his private parts. Physically, everything was all right. We took appointment for the next day. We don't know if he had any internal injuries. So we tried to go to that house, and the parents were not there. The mother was in call. She's in the second shift. Father was not there, and there are grandparents who are horribly trying to protect the child. And after a lot of, I don't want to go into details, after a lot of discussions, and we went back again around 12 o'clock. The mother saw my missed calls and my profile in the MyGate app. Like she thought she knows that I'm a psychologist, and she called, "Please come, can you come now? We'll talk." So we locked the children in the house and we went down. Around 12:30, 1 o'clock, we had like it took uh, endless nights for me to send Soham for 1 hour a day on his own, running in the house, watching everywhere him, what he's doing. And this is what happened. You know what? They tried to tell me at the end, it's like, if the child is special, lock him at home. Why are you sending him down? This is how the society is. And my child is like this. What should I do? Then I said, if you find some problem with the child, please take appointment and sit with me. I'll definitely help your child. But now, as a victim, I am in your house. I'm trying to tell that my child has gone through this. And he's a special child. He can't talk. He can't tell what has happened to him. So I tried, and even they tried to hook up a new story the next day. We sat with the management committee that this happened, and they said, "What is the proof that my child is there?" And they made the child to lie the second story, which I felt very very bad. a mother in me stopped reacting towards a child because I don't want give him to give him a child trauma because he's also a child. And you know, one child is 9 years old and one child is 6 years old. Who did this to Soham? And I was like, what is happening? There is so many things that we need to address in the society. Okay,
Yes.
before this, I need to come out of what is happening. I can't correct or control what has happened already. It took me just one day. I have my mentor who's an autist in Mumbai. If I come to any such sensitive situations, I just have a session with him. He'll try to bring me to practicality, what has to have to be done. So I have immediately contacted him, and he said, like, yeah, you can't do anything. What legally is like is register Soham and these portals. His some few websites he has given me. That's where you will get immediate special support from the police if you give complaint, and try to ensure to take a written complaint that this is not going to repeat for Soham again. And so many of my friends and families ask me to like relocate from this place. This place is not right. No, I'm not ready to relocate. I am here to advocate. I'll be here now that this happened. I'll tell everybody that Soham is a special child. This has happened to him. It should not happen to any child. Please talk. If anything happens to him, come and tell me. And I'm very grateful to those three girls who came to me and told at the right time. If they wouldn't have told me, I don't know what Soham would have gone through next.
True.
And
So
This is very gut wrenching, Shri, and I can imagine as a mother how difficult it would have been for you to maintain a balance between protecting your child and also ensuring the other children who, because children for whatever, either the environment in the family or they don't understand or it's just fun for them, everything. So to keeping a balance as a psychologist, as a professional, and being a mother, everything must have come to head. But mm, if you had to give out a message to authorities to bring out, or even for that matter, parents who have, for the sake of saying that children who are in the regular sphere, how they are identified, what message would you give out if you want to build a more exclusive world? So uh, we have just maybe a couple of more minutes, and if
yes,
people
yes.
have some questions, we would like to encourage you to speak. um, Please let us know now, what would you be your message for parents to create inclusive spaces for policymakers? How can one influence them?
The
yeah,
three
thank
things
you,
that I did in this, sorry.
Shri. Thank you, Swati, for that. And in fact, there is one comment in the chat box also, where which is relevant here, where Rakhi says that she is visiting a school where none of the staff knows anything about inclusive education, nor do they have any knowledge about special needs of neurodivergent kids. And there are special needs kids in that school. So she wants to know how to raise awareness at these schools. And there is one more question also in the chat box, which we'll take after this question.
Yeah.
Thank you, Swati. Thank you.
Yeah. So coming back to this bullying thing, the three things immediately that I did was um, making me coming out of that victimized mother thing. I came out. It is not easy. I do a lot of craft work. I started pulling all the bottles, glass bottles that I have. It gave my peace of mind. I came out of it. The second immediate thing is calling all the children in the society, like these three girls, and I told these three girls also to tell about Soham everywhere, and uh, keep me posted if anything happens to him next time. So I'm not running away from the situation. I'm trying to address. That's what I did. And the very, very important thing is, okay, I'm blaming the society. I'm then blaming the parenting of the child. I'm blaming the society, everything. But what has to be done from my side is to keep Soham prepared for such things. What I need to do for that. So I immediately had meetings with all the therapists, my team, me, everybody. We sat, we came up with a plan. He's visually very strong. I've shown him so many social stories. We have done a lot of mocks with him. We made him understand that these things happen. So what do you need to do? You have to seek for immediate help. That's what we wanted him to do for that situation. Later, I might upgrade him. But for now, if he is being abused like that, he has to run from there and seek for help. That is the only objective during that time. That's how I used to set goals, like you asked me earlier. So that was my goal. So I just want to share a small video after the work, how Soham responded to me. So we went to a tea shop. It's called Kettle Cave. So I was asking him what you will do if somebody comes or troubles you. So for that, he's responding. This is the video after a lot of mocks and therapies.
You have to share sound, Shri.
Sorry?
Share sound. We can't hear anything.
Oh,
You'll have to reshare the screen and say share with screen with audio.
Some naughty boys are coming to the.
Then what will you do if someone troubles you?
The naughty boys are coming to the get the game.
What will you do if someone troubles you?
You have to go to security office, talk to security that someone is troubling me or bicycle is punching.
Good job. Or you should go to any adult who is there and seek for help. Okay, mommy?
Okay, mommy.
So it took almost 26 days for him to respond this way. So he used to address them as naughty boys. Yeah.
Okay, there is one more question, Shri, about how to respond to primitive reflexes. And this is something that just for the audience's sake, and Shri, I'm sure you can't see the chat right now, but we will be addressing these questions in the next session, where we will invite Shri and a couple of other people, and we will cover this question in the next section, which will probably be more detailed, and we will be able to address this. So we have time for just one last question, and then we can head towards closing this session. So anybody from the audience, if you'd like to ask, or I have one last question for you, Shri.
Let's see if anyone from the audience has a question.
Yeah.
Or a comment. Anyone? Okay, then you can go ahead, Swati.
Okay. Now, my question is more towards building resilience in yourself. Although you mentioned that at the beginning of the session, that as a parent you need to take care of your health, you need to take care of your resilience, your mental health. So is it important that as a parent, as a caregiver, sometimes you are allowed to break down and say, I'm finding this difficult? So do you think that this is a good mechanism to de-stress and come back with a vengeance?
Yes, absolutely. Wonderful question. So I say this to so many parents who visit me, like, it's okay to be not okay. It's clear. Like, there are so many days where we can't, our body don't permit, our mind don't permit. We have our own traumas or which just trigger And it is not only the children that we do so many other things in life. Some might not work well, so that affects our routine. So it's okay. It's okay to take a break. And for myself, um, because I have gone through a very bad phase, I was on antidepressants. I don't recommend to do for go everybody to who are depressive to go and have antidepressants. No. uh, when some challenges come, even now, I know why is this happening to me. I know all the technicalities because I'm now qualified, but I want someone to help me to come out of this. So I can't treat myself. Yes, I go for therapies. I talk to the counselor. I went out. I try to talk out everything that has to come out of me. And most of the times it is Sharath. He listens everything. He nicely tries to pamper and protect me, and he gives break. He'll ask me to do what I wanted to do and what I want to eat. He's a foodie, so he'll ask me, give me a lot of varieties, which like you want to eat this, you want to eat this, you want to go here. So do whatever you want. Otherwise, and there are 2-3 times where I've gone for like 7 to 8 sessions. I have taken therapies to come back to my normality. It's not that I don't handle parents or I don't handle the special kids there. Yes, I am doing my job. It's my job. I have to handle myself because I get moved to when I listen to the stories of my parents also, like the parents of my special kids, the one who come to the center. So that disturbs me a lot. I can't come out to my thing and just keep working and focus. So I have to work on my mental health before I address that. So that is very, very important. It is quite natural. So you don't need to hide. It's absolute okay to be not okay.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Shri, and it was wonderful. Believe me, it takes a lot of courage to lay your heart out in the open and speak about your experiences. It really, really showed us your grit as a mother, as a professional, and I personally feel, and that I feel that everybody in this room probably has had some experiences, that the more we listen from others, somewhere some little thing just comes alive, and we know that I'm going to motivate somebody to join that circle of inclusivity, to motivate somebody to accept somebody and do much more in this sphere, because as the world we know, a lot of new things are coming up, and I'm sure that we need to create inclusive spaces. So thank you so much for coming over today and speaking to our group. I'm sure that your experiences have left so many of us emboldened to ensure that we also accept, we also say, okay, today is not such a great day, and spend 26 days for Soham to say this. So we know that there is hope, and things can improve for the better. So, audience, thank you so much. Till we meet again for another session, and we invite Shri again to speak to us. We'd like to thank everybody who took out time and came here and spoke to us. Shri, thank you. Look forward to hosting you once more.
Wonderful opportunity. I have to thank Minas from bottom of my heart. She's the one, like the first day she met me, she said, we are going to have a session with you. So thank you so much. I feel even the Mrs. India platform that I wanted to participate is also to address people in large about inclusivity. So yeah, as one of the participants asked the question in the chat box, I'm trying even to address about inclusivity from different means of mediums. So one day we'll have the voice for them.